Okay, so thank you so much for getting on this Zoom with us tonight. A lot of people on my team don't know who you are yet, or they've heard of you, but they don't really know your story. And that's because you are such a rock star and you have grown so fast, which is amazing. And we are so excited to hear from you tonight. So if everyone could please give Shandee a warm welcome. Shandee and I were put into a focus group with Lauren Ravan and some other really awesome girls this year so far, and it has been just amazing getting to learn from her. So I wanted her to share with our team tonight all the things about her and all her tips and tricks and all that. So without further ado, Shandee, tell everybody your story.
Awesome. Hey guys. So I am Shandee. I'm a mom of two kids. I have a daughter who's 2 and a son who is going to be 10 this year. A little hard to believe. I actually was a former cosmetologist and I loved my career, you guys. Honestly, I thought that that was going to be my lifetime job. I thought that that was going to give me freedom and I was going to get to be my own boss and do all these things. But obviously, I realized quickly that that was not the case. I was stressed out. My son was going to daycare and he was in and out of multiple daycares before I actually found one that I even liked. And I still felt guilty. I had that mom guilt every single day when I would drop him off. And so I actually moved to another state and then I met my now husband. And when we became pregnant with my daughter, my husband said, I just want you to be a stay-at-home mom. And so I said, okay. I'm like, man, I thought that was like super exciting. And I was like, maybe this is my next thing. I've always said that it would be awesome to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also didn't know what was going to come with that. And so while I was pregnant, I absolutely loved being pregnant. I loved being able to be home with my son and having that one-on-one with him. But then I shortly realized after that, I felt like I was overwhelmed and I ended up falling into really bad postpartum depression. And I was almost in denial. I was like, is this really, am I in denial because I just feel like this can't be happening to me? I just went through all these different emotions, honestly. And so then my husband's like, well, maybe you can just do something different. He didn't want me to go back to work because of course that would mean again, that I would be putting my kids in daycare. And he again, did not really like the toxins and stuff that come with all the hairdressing field. And so he's like, why don't you just, try to find something you can do from home. And so my husband's very big spiritual leader of our family. And so we had just been praying for a change and just praying for something to come along that could, still allow us to be able to have me as a stay-at-home mom, but maybe even just find my purpose. At the time also I was struggling with my I had so many insecurities. It was unbelievable. Couldn't even talk in front of people. And yeah, I might have been a social person, but as much as I was an extrovert, I was also a very big introvert. And so I had actually followed my leader, Christy Christensen, for 5 years before I took the leap of faith with her. And I actually, when she wrote me, she was doing a power hour and she wrote me and she's like, hey girl, I see you popping up on my timeline. Do you want to do this business with me? And I was like, yeah, no, because I was like, it's a scam. It's this. Like I had all these things go through my head because that's what society had told us these businesses are. So I believed the things without doing the research myself, but I said, I do see you losing your weight. So tell me a little bit about the products that you're using. What are you using? And again, I was in that postpartum weight. And so she got me set up with a combination. I went on a trip. And then I came back and my products were here and I started them. And when I literally say that our products saved my life, I 100% mean that. I feel like in the first week, before was just in bed. Like I was crying all the time. I was so emotional. I was not enjoying having a new baby like I should. And so I just felt like I was kind of drowning, And so then, like I said, I started using these products. In the first week, you guys, I dropped 4 pounds and I had more energy than I knew what to do with. And so I was getting stuff done around the house and I just felt like so much more accomplished. And again, at the time, Christy's like, okay, like, do you want to do the business? And I was like, yeah, girl, let's do this. And so I actually FaceTimed her, not even knowing her personally. I was like, let's do this, sign me up. Like if I love something like this, I know for a fact I can promote this. So I got signed up and literally went fast. Exactly like Lauren said. I went diamond in 90 days. I took my husband's account diamond. 15 days later, I went double diamond. And at that point, we had earned 35,000 in bonuses. And then at that 4-month mark, you guys, I had literally matched my 5-year cosmetology career monthly income. So I was like, you know what? There's just so much more to be done here. And everybody had said, like, do a dream board. Have you done a dream board? And I'm like, nah, that's hogwash. I'm not doing a dream board. And, actually, you guys, I didn't make one at that point. I waited. And then I ended up going up until December. And we maintained a double diamond through December. And then we went to conference. I was a strong double diamond leader, but I just didn't really have that. I didn't know how quickly more we could grow, you know? And so, you know, my upline was like, hey, you need to shoot for being charted for triple by February. And you guys, that was very far from where I was. Like, we're talking like thousands away from where I was. And I was like, I just don't know. And you know, I was super nervous, but she's like, do you have a dream board yet? And I'm like, no. So I made that dream board, you guys. I wrote things on there that I thought were so far out of our reach. And it was just like things like, you know, building a huge savings, charting myself for triple diamond by February 29th. And I was so scared. And again, we just pushed. And my team was on fire. And literally, you guys, on the last day of February, we charted for triple diamond. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's happening. And we had that for a little bit. And then I actually went triple diamond by the end of April. And then we had the qualifying month in May. So that was that next month. So we qualify, we still obviously maintained triple. And it just, like I said, went super, super fast. And it was something that, like, you know, things that were on my dream board, you guys, is we were obviously like a higher paid triple diamond, you know, between mine and my husband's account, we were earning 20,000. And I was just mind blown. I'm like, how, you know, like, how is this even happening? And so I've just learned that with this business, you guys, there is nothing too big to dream for. Like, things that you think are so far out of your reach, like, put those things down on your dream board and just show up every day and do the things. Don't have excuses, do your daily checklist. And then, like I said, just keep pushing yourself. And so at that point, you guys, we've earned over 85,000 in bonuses, and we've only been with that business for this business for a year and a half. And so that's pretty much my story.
Thank you so much for sharing all that. Okay, so such like good things. Like I think it's like so typical, like, right, that you're skeptical, you think it's a scam, like you get in, and then it's like you hit the ground running. So I know that one of the questions people are going to ask me is, did you have a huge network? Were you into social media before you joined It Works?
So that's actually a really good question. I always forget to go over that. When I started, you guys, I was completely against Facebook. I had not had Facebook for over 2 years. And so I completely deleted it to the point where it completely deactivated my account. There was no restarting like the same one. And Christy told me I had to have a Facebook, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting Facebook. I hate it. It's drama filled. I don't want anything to do with it. She's like, no, you just have to do it for the team page. And I'm like, whatever. So at that time, you guys, I had 240 friends on Instagram. Like, I had clean sweeped everything. I had nothing. So for my Instagram, the 240 friends, that's all I had. I had no other network platform whatsoever. And then Christy's like, just start adding, girl, just start adding. And so I started adding. I did exactly what it says. And instead of like our daily, you know, checklist was like add 25 people a day, you guys, I was adding 75 people a day. I would do 25 in the morning, I would do 25 around lunch, and I would do 25 in the evening when I was laying in bed. And I did, like I say, I went triple diamond with only 1,200 friends on Facebook, and I barely had reached 840 friends on Instagram. And Instagram was like teeter-tottering for a really long time. So that was it. And then, you know, my TikTok, and like I said, I just got on TikTok, and I will give you guys some numbers that are going to blow your mind. But like, I did not have that 840 friends when I went triple. That stayed there forever. Like, I would go up 10 to 15 friends, and I would go down 15 to 20 friends, right? It just kept going up and down, up and down. And I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? And then everyone's like, you got to get on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, and I was the same way with the TikTok that I was with Facebook, because I'm like, I just don't want to do it. And Christy's like, okay, girl, you just stay in that comfort zone and just see what happens. Like, you're just going to maintain, you're going to be mad at yourself. So I did it. I got on TikTok, and I actually will tell you that TikTok is my favorite platform, you guys. I love it. I think it's so fun. You can be raw, you can be real. Obviously, you got to have thick skin. People are rude, but I just kill them with kindness because I don't care. But I got on TikTok, and in 5 weeks, you guys, 5 weeks, I grew to 43,000 followers on TikTok. And my Instagram, because I was directing them to go to my Instagram, I was adding them on there, and I'm over 5,000 followers on Instagram. And that was in 5 weeks. That was it. Just consistency of doing, I do three. I did have a little break there for a little bit with some family stuff, but I did 3 TikToks a day. And on a really good day, I would do 6 TikToks. And then I was saving them, and I was uploading them to my Instagram Reels, so that the same thing was on both networks, and you just grow that way. So That's how my network has grown so quickly recently.
You guys, I mean, if you're not like hearing this, started with 140 friends on Instagram, no following, or 240 friends on Instagram, no following on Facebook, didn't even have a Facebook account, and went triple diamond with 1,200 friends on Facebook and 800 people on Instagram, and grew all that while going triple. It all happened simultaneously. So, um, how did you go so fast? People are going to ask me this. Okay, well, then you're growing your network. How are you going so fast? Were you messaging? Like, this is pre TikTok. So, were you messaging? Were you posting? Like, how are you getting distributors to join your team?
I was sleeping and breathing the business, you guys, literally. I loved it. I felt like it was like my natural, like it's like a natural high. I just got so excited. And I was doing the daily checklist. Like I said, we have that KPI checklist and I would follow it every single day. Like there was no excuses. I showed up every day. And you guys, even up to going triple diamond, we had a miscarriage in June and that did not stop me. I'm like, I know that God has a plan for our family and I just stuck to it. I still did the work because I know for a fact that if you do the work and you show up and you're doing the things, obviously you're going to be fulfilled. Your business is going to grow naturally. But if you go one day and you post, right, and then you wait 2 or 3 days, guess what? Not only am I noticing, but so is everybody else that is watching you. And the thing is, I told myself, I think because I'm very competitive, like I'm like a friendly competitor, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's signing 2 distributors today. I'm getting 3. Like that's just my personality, And so I would get that friendly competition with like somebody on my team, I would have that accountability partner. And we were just like, hey, I'm going to go do this. And, I'm going to send this message out to 30 people. You go send it to yours and screenshot me when you're done, and I loved that accountability because I also felt again that it kept me in that little competitiveness. But truthfully, like I said, I just did the dang things every single day. And like, I would message hardcore for messaging, especially like for customers and things like that. From like the 15th to the 25th, I was messaging a ton of messages about products because obviously we know the end of the month we're hustling for volume. And so I was just sending out a ton. The 1st to the 15th, I would do only host a post for distributors. And then after the 15th, I was doing from the 15th to the 25th, I was doing only posts for or host a post for customers. And because, the 1st to the 15th is when I try to really get those enrollments in. And then that's why, then I'm helping them from the 15th to the 31st, obviously the end of the month, getting those customers in and helping them to grow that way. So that was really honestly I just stuck to it every single day. And I just had there was literally no excuses. It's all about being consistent. And, like I said, you can't take those breaks in between. You just have to know that if you put your head down and go to work, just know that it's already done. And truthfully, I mean, I don't know everybody else's, but I prayed about it every single day. Like, please just God help me to get this business, like my family needs this and I want that freedom for my family and I want to travel. And, I did have big dreams, so like I said, I just was like, I'm doing it. And, don't get me wrong, you guys, everybody's got times in their business. It's still a business. We still are going to have hard times, but at the end of the day, it's so rewarding, like to have this business.
So much goodness. I love when people are just like, I just did it. Like we talked about this, like people just make a decision and it's like, you're just not going to leave any stone unturned. Like you're going to do all the things and like whatever it is, you're going to make it happen. And that's how you did it. You made it happen. There was nothing you weren't willing to do. If your upline told you to do something, you did it. If you didn't, I know Christy and she's telling you, well, then stay in your comfort zone and you're not going to grow. That's fine. But you got out of your comfort zone and you did grow. So I love that. So, okay, let me switch gears a little bit then. Have you ever had any like lulls in your business, or have you ever had any times where you were like, man, I lost drink and I have to get this back, or lost motivation, or like, have you ever been in the valley?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, as I said, we had a miscarriage at 10 weeks back in June. And like I said, I truly feel like it was just a blessing. And I had to kind of look at things and count my blessings as far as like we, went triple diamond. And then I earned that first paycheck of 20,000. And it was almost like God was like, you're going to need this, because he knew that I was going to need to take care of my mental health. And so I did have a fallback. And you know what? At the time, I did question myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, am I meant to be here? Like, I'm falling back. But you guys, every single person that's in this business has had a fallback. Every single person. But let me just tell you something. The person I was from the beginning to triple diamond, because I grew so quickly, was not the leader that I am today. And I am so grateful for the girls that joined my business, because here's the thing, even when I went triple diamond, right? All of those girls, because of the leader that I was, I did everything for them. I didn't even tell them where to go get the content. I didn't tell them where to go get things. I would just send it to them. And so I ended up doing all of the work. So when I had my miscarriage, I didn't have a strong team, you guys. They all fell off. Like I literally lost an entire team. So I pretty much started over. You know, I had my few like small girls that came here and there. And I was just like, wow. And I'm like, man, I have to completely start over. And there was a part of me that was like, you can sit there, you can sit here, Shandee, and you can look at this and you can say, I'm not meant to do this anymore. Or you can look at it and you can say, I've done it once and I'm going to do it again. And that was what I did, you guys. I was just like, you know what? If I've done this once, I'm going to do it again. And I'm just going to keep going. And yeah, it sucks. Did it hurt? Did I cry? Absolutely, you guys. But at the same time, I also know that my comeback is going to be so much stronger than my setback, because the leader that I am now is completely different than the leader I was back then. Because now my girls know where to get stuff. They know where to message each other if they're having a struggle and I'm not messaging right away. They know where to get their stories. They know how they have word board, right? So at the time we didn't have word board, and I have all of my scripts. My whole team has them. You know, that's something that like the second they join, it's not $39 to join. It's $39 plus 25 for word board. That's literally what I tell my girls. You have to get word board, because this is all the scripts, because I can't sit there and spoon feed people, or they're going to fall off if something happens and I do have a setback, and that's not fair to them either, you know? So I tell my girls, like I said, I'm so grateful that they're here now, and that, you know, they weren't the people that were with me from the beginning. And you're going to hear this now out of my mouth, and you're going to hear it from time and time again from other leaders. You're not going to have the same people most likely with you when you go diamond, double, and triple. You're going to have a whole bunch of new people, and they're going to be strong, you know? And so if you want to be that person, like Christy told me, she's like, I want you to be one of those top people, but you also have to decide that yourself, because you can be whatever you want to be. You just have to start showing up as her. So that was pretty much it.
So much goodness, you guys. Like, oh my gosh, I love that you are a red personality and you're speaking the truth, and it's like just direct. I love it. I'm just like, oh, so much goodness. So talk to me about, you know, you've had these we just talked about setbacks, talked about how you just decide, like, you know, I had doubts. I wondered, is this for me? I think, you know, if you've ever felt that way, drop a 1 in the chat. Like I have felt that way before. Like what, and like you said, like, what am I doing? What exactly am I doing? Like, I've had times, I don't know about you, but I've had times where I've wanted to throw my phone like in the toilet and never look at it again and just be like, done, you know? But having those times, and speaking of looking at your phone so much, talk to me about like your routine and schedule, because you're a busy mom, you have responsibilities, you have a baby, not a baby, but I call any child under 4 a baby. You have a baby at home with you who requires attention. I see her with you almost on all of our Zooms that we have. When do you work your business? Do you feel like you're attached at your phone? You know, I know you get a lot of applications on TikTok and you are signing crazy from TikTok, but are you still messaging and following up with your Facebook network, or how are you growing your business primarily right now?
So as far as like my routine, like I said, you guys, from the beginning, I was like, my phone, I had it with me all the time. And because I said, like, I had such big dreams and goals for my family, and it was something that was like a sacrifice that I made. And I told my husband, like, listen, you know, if we want this, like, I'm going to have to be on my phone a little bit more than I am wanting to be. You know what I mean? Hey, can you go out, please? Sorry, guys. See, here she is coming on in. Thank you. See, she comes in all the time.
Yeah.
Shut the door, please. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no.
So, honestly, I was like, and I told my husband, like, hey, this is what it's gonna take. And in the beginning, you guys, like I said, I was on my phone a lot more, but I also had to learn balance. And after Triple Diamond is when I finally learned my balance. My husband and I do date nights every single Friday now. That is a thing that I have made a priority, because in order for you to continue to be successful with your business, you need to make sure that your man knows that he is a priority as well. Okay. So obviously up until that point, I had to do, like I was with, my business all day, every day. And then I was like, okay, it's time to finally like make him a priority too. So make sure he knows he's important, and he will let you do whatever you want. But so then I was just, like I said, during the day, I have my daughter, my son's in school. My daughter's at home with me all day, every day. She still naps. So I get up in the morning. I have a power hour. I host one myself Monday through Fridays, or sorry, Monday through Saturdays. We just do a power 30 because I feel like we were doing a power hour for about 2 months. And I feel like after about an hour, the girls are kind of burning out a little bit. So we just backed it down to a power 30. And I do power 30s twice throughout the day. So I'll do one in the morning, and then I do one in the evening for myself, and I don't do the evening one with the girls, but they really have been doing their own. And so you do 30 minutes in the morning, get your work done. At least in the morning, I like to get my posts up. I do my stories. I make my coffee in my stories, show my face, and things like that. And then as far as like in the evening, I'll just, like I said, after we're out of the bath and things like that, getting our bath routines done with the kids. Then at that point, I will go again, I will add to my network, and I'll do those things, obviously on the daily checklist. And so, if I'm being completely honest with you, and I'm like, right now, I have not been messaging like I was before, because you guys, TikTok has completely like just taken everything out for me. And my girls that are coming to me, they have been such hard workers. Like, have I lost a few? Absolutely. It happens to everybody. You're going to lose people. Like, some people don't see the value of the business when they start. And so, I've lost girls, but I've also had a lot of really strong girls. And they've all been honestly like getting their 6 customers within 2 weeks. And so, that's like the max that they're doing. And so the duplication's there now, you guys. And like I said, it's because they know where to get the stuff. They're, getting their stories, they're adding to their stories, they're doing the daily checklist every single day. And so as far as my routine, what else did you ask? Sorry, I forgot. Oh, TikToks. So yeah, that's where they're coming from, you guys, is TikTok. So the last 3 months in a row, I've enrolled more than 24 distributors. I think this month is my lower month, but they're all straight from TikTok. And they will message me, and I have one specific message that I send them. And then, after they tell me like yes or no or whatever, I always relate to them. And I do send a voice memo. Once they write me, I'm just like, hey, hey, Sarah, I'm super excited to talk with you about this business opportunity. I'm going to send you over a little bit of information. If you have any questions, let me know, so that they know I'm a real person, right? So then I send that first, and then I send the text. And at that point, they've been telling me like, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not. And even if they tell me no, you guys, I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm going to turn that no into a yes. And I don't know when, but it's going to happen. So I just tell them like, what is it that's holding you back from this? Because if they're anything like me, like, she probably thinks it's a scam. She probably thought the products don't work. So then I can relate. I can tell her, hey, my products do work. This is my own results. I just want you to know, like, it is real. And I love this business, and this is what it's done for our family. And so at that point, it kind of opens up a little bit more of a relationship. And then if they say yes, that they're ready, I have them text me, and they've been signing up. And so as far as the getting the customers, we are going to be, obviously, like I said, we're pushing for customers right now. We're still doing the host to post for the customers. But my distributors have all been coming from TikTok and Reels, you guys. And if you're not on TikTok and Reels, you better start today. Like, even when you get off here, go make a couple TikToks. And like, even today, I just did like 5 random ones. And my drafts, I have like 250 drafts. So like, on the days that I don't feel like doing them, I can just go pick something from the drafts. But like, doing funny ones and interactive, they say like, pick 5 things that relates to you. And so obviously mine's like my faith, my family. I love shopping way too much. And, I talk about our coffee, and then products as well in there. And so that's really what my TikTok is surrounded by. And I just love I like funny too. So things that are going to make people laugh, or things that are relatable, things with my kids. People love that stuff. Oh, and the Amazon finds ones. Oh, Lord Almighty. If you guys order something from Amazon, do an Amazon, like, things you thought, or things that you needed off of Amazon, part 1, like, and then just literally write the context on it. You guys, that one video that I did was like this mask one, and it is over like 5 million views. It was insane. And I got like 16,000 friends from 16,000 followers on TikTok from one video. So it's just a matter of when your one video is going to blow up, but it's going to happen.
So good. Okay. So if somebody, let's talk about this because this is one of the questions, like with a lot of leaders moving to like building TikTok and whatever. Well, if they sign a distributor, they have people on their team that are just getting started and they're just like getting their feet wet. Would you shoot them right into TikTok? Would you coach them to do Facebook messaging? Like, how would you lead somebody on your team who's not yet Ruby, trying to go Ruby, doesn't have TikTok or Reels? Like, would you just tell them, let's just start TikTok and Reels? Or would you have the message, or how would you do it?
So, honestly, oh gosh, this is hard because Christy and their girls have made it easier for us right now. Um, and Lauren, you could even write her too, because the videos, she just automatically tells them, like, hey, you need to go get TikTok, and I want you to make your first TikTok. Like, she kind of gives them ideas of what to do. But as far as like launching, so like normally I send my girls, I'm like, hey, I'm super excited for you. Add me on Facebook. I'm going to add you to our team page. I get them on my team page. Our unit one video is like a welcoming video, like telling them welcome, blah, blah, blah. And then unit one, part one is them making their first post. From then, after they make their, like on the comment of that video, I just say, hey, text me when you've made your first post and we're going to go to the next step. And so they've just been automatically doing it. But you guys, this is where the leadership comes in. I automatically, the second somebody posts, give them a screenshot and shout them out on your team page. That is going to go so much further than anything. Like, people love that, just that little bit of like, hey, that recognition of, I did this. So I always screenshot it. I shout them out. I'm super excited. So-and-so put up her launch post. She's going to kill it, blah, blah, blah. And then at that point, I schedule a FaceTime. FaceTimes are so important because I feel like you need to get to know the person you're with. It's not necessarily a training of like doing a training, because there's so many training videos, right? But it's mainly just like hey, what's your goals? What's your life like? How many kids do you have? Like, what is your, hobbies? And what's your biggest goal? Like, what's something that you're really dreaming big for, And then I try to get them to start making a dream board, and just putting little things down, even if it's on a piece of paper. And then after that, I go straight into like the day 2 video, which we have one, I believe day 2, I'm gonna have to remember the order. Day 2, is host to post. It dives them into host to post. It gives them their first host to post to put up, gives them a response to put up. And then I think day 3 kind of goes over like the Over app and TikTok. And so they kind of get like familiar with that. But honestly, I think that the videos that we have just been really helping the girls, and they've kind of just been doing it, which honestly, before I will tell you that I think it was a little bit harder growing and getting them to stick, because I felt like the resources weren't as strong as they are now, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's so nice having like the word board of like exactly how to start and launch somebody. Like, if you're a brand new distributor, we now have all those scripts of like how to onboard somebody if you have no idea how to be a leader, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, and WordBoard is like serious a game changer. And a lot of people, like I do have some people that are Android users. But I believe it's in Telegram, somebody has already made a whole entire thing for people that don't have, an iPhone. And so they have all the same scripts that we have. And so that was really cool too. And I think it's shared for everybody's teams too, which is awesome. Cause like we have a new girl that just started today and she started sending out messages, and I'm like, where'd she find those? But there's something for everybody, and that's what's awesome, is everything's right there at your fingertips. You just have to search for it, or you have to ask like, hey, where can I get something for this? And just like I say, keep your stories full. And in the beginning, I sent nothing but messages all day, every day, you guys. Like in the beginning, I was like constantly blowing up for everything. Like I wanted messages for distributors out. I got host to post out, obviously. You guys, and I didn't even do host to post until I was 6 months in the business. So host to post is, I realized, a game changer for this business. And, honestly, where I think one of my favorite stories is I went to conference and I met this leader, and she said, I just signed my 16th distributor. And I was like, what? Like, how did you sign 16 distributors? Like at that point, you guys, I was signing like 5 max. Like in 1 month it was like 2, and 1 month was 3, and 1 month was 5. And I was like thinking I was doing good with just 5, which of course it's good. But I was like, how did she do 16? And she's like, oh, it's from host to post. We have a Disneyland giveaway. So we came back, we did a Disneyland giveaway. I prayed and prayed and prayed, like, God, please just give me 16 distributors. Like, I'm going to train them. I'm going to do this. Like, I want to help these people. You guys, on the last day of that month, I signed 16 distributors from host to host. And I was like, it's happening. Like, I was just so excited. But my goal is always no less than 5 host to post a day. But right now I have my girls pushing to get 10 up a day, just because it's end of the month push. Like, we're at the middle. I don't want them to have to push at the very last 5 days of the month. And so we've just been trying to get 10 up a day, and some of them do both, because some of them are obviously needing distributors still. And the ones that just started, I have them do half and half, 5 for distributors, 5 for customers.
Do you do host to post on Facebook only, or do you do host to post in Instagram too?
So I do it in both. For Facebook, I just have them do like a post, like a regular post. And then for Instagram, I have them put a thing up in their stories. And I've just made a ton of templates that like they can just put in there, like each person can take and put their own information in. And then they have them share it to their stories. But I will be honest with you, I feel like I don't get nearly as much from host to post unless it's from Facebook. I feel like my Instagram is very hit and miss. Like, I get some sometimes, but then other times I don't. But then I also hear other leaders that get them only from Instagram. So I think it just depends on like your network,
Yeah. What host to post are you using to attract distributors on Facebook right now?
So let me see. I have my phone right here. So because of course we can now, obviously talk about bonuses.
Yeah.
So that is exciting that that's back, because that was literally how I feel like I grew with the distributors in the first place. When I first started was because we were able to announce the bonuses. And so right now, the one that I just sent out to have someone post is, hey friends, who is looking for an extra source of income? My friend Shandee has 2 work from home positions left for people who want to dedicate about 60 minutes a day working from their phone or computer. $500 to $3,000 monthly, plus eligible for $15,000 bonus in 90 days. She's beyond successful and ready to mentor you. Say me or text opportunity to, and then it has my phone number and it says she'll be in contact with you. And then it just says serious inquiries only. So I like that one, and I can send that to you too if you want to use it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the other one that I love too, that I used for a really long time, let me find it really quick. Shoot.
Do you find people commenting on the post more or texting you more?
To be honest with you, I really like to get them to message me on Instagram. So even sometimes I have them I'm directing people to Instagram, because I feel like truthfully, like people text me and they say opportunity, you guys, and 90% of them, I feel like they never write back. They get the one initial message out, and it's just different because they don't like see your stuff as much. So I feel like if they're on like your Instagram, it works a little bit differently, but I mean, like I say, everything works different for different people. Some people get people to sign up from texts, but that has not been like my big one. And again, the one I just sent you, you can add to the 15,000 part. I added it to it because it wasn't on there before. And then let me see the other one here. I thought it's on here somewhere. Man, I thought I had it. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
So I have like a couple of them, but then I just kind of alternate between like 3 of them, and you can change up the emojis on it and things like that so it doesn't get flagged. And then when I have them share it, I just, like I say, you can add your own your words to it, message her on message her on Instagram, if your friends are sharing it for you, and put like your Instagram handle. And I feel like it's really, honestly, like I say though, a lot of my distributors are coming from TikTok and Reels only. I don't even remember the last time I got I don't honestly remember the last time I got a distributor from anything other than TikTok and Reels. Like, it's all just come strictly from there only.
I love it. It's just, and it can grow quickly, you guys, like 5 weeks. 5 weeks.
That's it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. So I always like to keep these at 45 minutes, like I told you. So tell me if you had any advice or anything. There's a lot of people shooting for Ruby and Emeralds this month. So somebody who, think back to when you weren't yet Ruby or whatever. I mean, I know you grew fast in the business, but like they don't have the belief yet. Maybe they are not getting the big paychecks yet. Like, what is your tips and inspiration for somebody not yet Ruby who's shooting for Ruby and Emerald?
Keep going. Like, literally, I just tell everybody keep going, because girl, when I pulled out my first chart and I saw Ruby and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so big. Like, I can't even hardly get customers yet. And mindset's huge, you guys. Personal development is something that is so important in this business. And I think it's not even something that's expressed enough, that like you have got to be listening to personal development, because it's easy to get in your own head. First of all, we're our own worst critics, and like the only person stopping us from getting where we want to go is ourselves. And so just focus forward. Like, just know that like you're going to get there. If you just keep doing the things, you just have to trust the process and know it's already done. That's honestly what it is. And like I said, when I started, Ruby seemed so scary to me. I was like, oh my gosh, like I haven't even gotten customers yet. Like I'm not even getting them yet. How's this going to happen? And that was when my husband's like, you need to stop asking how and just keep doing the work and it's going to happen. And so I just felt like that was just really honestly great to hear, because it's true. You just keep showing up, keep doing the things. And the biggest thing too is like, especially pushing for that emerald bonus. Like if that dangling carrot of a $5,000 bonus ain't keeping you going, you guys, whoa, you better check yourselves. Like I wish that was a thing when I started, because I was like, $5,000 for emerald. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like that wasn't a thing when I started. And so I think that that's something you should just focus on, and knowing that like that is literally at your fingertips reach. Like you can do this, like it's right there. Keep making sure you're doing your checklist every day. And then I think as far as like I said, the personal development is extremely helpful, especially in those times, because you are pushing, and that just kind of lights your fire every single time. And if it's, an accountability partner, that's fun. If you know somebody that's pushing for something just like you, get somebody that's higher than you. I like my people that I want to be higher than me, that I'm working with, because their goals are bigger. So I'm always like, yes. But I would say that's definitely the main thing. And then, gosh, I'm trying to think. It's one of my favorite.
I really love it. Yeah, I love what you talk. Like you said, like just keep going. I think like so many people just don't have the belief yet. And like I always tell people, like when I saw that first Ruby chart, I said the same thing as you, like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to fill this in. And then it happens, and then you look at emerald and you're like, oh, it's so big and I'm not gonna ever be able to do it. And you do it. And same thing for diamond and beyond. And I think that it's just like one of those things you have to keep going, because really things like open up at diamonds. Like it's really nice, like getting that ruby and emerald, but it's such a stepping stone to prove to yourself to get that life-changing money. You know what I mean? So I think that that's
I
huge.
think that's what it was for me, is just like, here's the thing. I feel like, my first paycheck was like $92.50, right? My second paycheck was $242, and then my third paycheck was 2,000. My fourth one was over 4,000. My fifth one was over 6,000. Then we hit 8,000. We maintained 8,000 for 5 months, and then we did 10,000 on my 31st birthday, and then 2 months later it was 20,000. You guys, the leaps are going to be so big. Is it small up until diamond? Yeah, absolutely. But when you get to diamond, that opens up like the floodgates of money. Like it's like you get cabs, you get bonuses. And with these stack it bonuses right now, like what? I almost died when I saw these stack of bonuses, you guys, because they're never ending. Like this is insane that you can earn this much. It's just a matter of like putting your head down, going to work, doing the things, showing up. Keep your charts out. Do not put your charts away. When I tell you that my fallback, when I had my miscarriage, I didn't have my charts out, you guys, for 5 months. And guess what? My business sucked. I did not do the things. I didn't have that vision. And I think sometimes too, a lot of times people don't realize that like you don't have that vision because you don't have your charts out in front of you, And so for me, like I lost that vision because I didn't even know really what I was working for. Oh, I'm just going to sign a customer. But it's like, make sure you have your charts out in front of you and write down your numbers, keep things down there. So, like, okay, I only need 45 GV under Sally Mae, and then 36 GV under so-and-so, and I'm Ruby, make sure you have those charts out in front of you, have them filled out. If you don't know how to do charts, there's plenty of YouTube videos that go over the charting. You guys get to watching them, because I'm telling you, when you see that, you're going to be like, okay, this really isn't that far. I think sometimes we think they're so much further than what they are because we don't have our charts out in front of us. And I'm just speaking from experience, because I did not have them out, like I said, for 5 months, and I fell back and I just kind of lost myself. So don't do that to yourself, because you are going to regret it.
I literally talked about these same things on our Monday thing. I showed them all my charts. I keep all my charts from the beginning of this business, and there's so much heart and soul in every single chart. So I could not agree more.
I think one more thing too, and I know you guys got to get off here, is
No, I appreciate you. I just want to be timely for you. So thank you.
No, you're okay. So I actually was on a Zoom the other night, and I do, like I say, like obviously I have my own team Zooms that are amazing, but I still like to get my cup filled from other like higher up leaders and stuff. And so I got on one the other night that was with Ashley Mayfield, and there was like 5 girls total, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was talking about like business and busyness, because like we're all busy. Like, yeah, I might be a stay-at-home mom, but I am busy, you guys. I got a kid in sports, I got a daughter that's doing gymnastics now, we've got, you know, home life, we've got all these things. And so it was called Business and Busyness, and it is on Ashley's YouTube. So look it up, watch it. It was so freaking good. But something that I am honestly the worst at, you guys, as much as I want to be this person, I'm not, is being organized as far as like having a daily planner out, right? So these girls were all, every single one of them was like, one thing that honestly changed my business is getting organized. And I wish I would have done this from day one. But they have like these journals that mark out like 30-minute increments of like, okay, if you're somebody that is not really good at getting focused, of getting your daily checklist done, break it down in 30 minutes, set alarms in your phone to go off. Like, okay, 30 minutes at this time, I'm going to go and add 25 to my network. I have an alarm that goes off. And, you know, like an hour, like I'm going to have another alarm go off that tells me to go and send out 25 business opportunity messages. But then another thing they talked about is stop. People are so big on rewarding yourselves. Like, well, I'm going to watch Netflix, or I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go watch, you know, The Bachelor or whatever. Don't treat yourself until you get the things done that are going to give you the results that you want. And I was like, whoa, like that's so good. Like, I love like the sweet tooth stuff at the end of the day. And I'm like, you know what? I don't get one on the days that this is a thing for myself. And it's probably better for my diet. But I'm like, you know, I literally do not, I will not have my sweet tooth thing until I have made sure that I get up my 10 host to post. And if I don't get 10 up and I only get 9 that day, guess what? Your girl ain't getting her sweet tooth stuff. Like, make it almost like a fun game with yourself. Reward yourself for what you're doing, but make sure you ain't rewarding yourself if you ain't actually getting the work done. And so I loved that. I thought that was so cool, because I'm like, man, that's really smart, because so many of us are so quick to be like, oh, well, I'm done for the night. You know, I didn't get 10 hosts to post up today, but it's okay. So I'm going to go watch my Netflix. No, girl, you pick that phone back up and you get your 10 hosts to post up, or you don't get your reward. Like, and I think that that's so good, because a lot of times, like I said, I think we're so quick to just reward ourselves for something we haven't even done yet, but then we're mad when we don't get the results that we want. It's all about that discipline. It's all about making sure that you do the things every single day. Like, don't give yourself any excuses. There's no excuse for not getting 5 hosts to post up a day, period, unless you're just straight up lazy. And I've been there, so I know it. Like, don't be lazy on yourself, because you're just going to be upset with yourself later.
Oh, I love it. And I love that you're preaching from a place. You're like, don't be lazy. And I know it's lazy because I've been there. Like, we've all been
Yep.
there, you know, and that's the truth of it. And like, gosh, the rewarding thing too. I tell people all the time, I'm like, if I asked you right now if I could get in your inbox and see the messages you've sent, or look at your feed and look at the host of posts you've put up, like, would you be proud of your inbox? But you're posting about Bridgerton or whatever else movie you just watched. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not mad that you're watching Bridgerton, but I just want to know, like, don't complain to me about your business. If, like, let me just see if this all matches up here, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's so hard too, because it's like we don't want to be people's moms. And you know, I tell my girls this every day, and I'm like, this is the red in me, but also like it can come off really strong and like offend people. But at the same time, I'm like, listen, I'm not your mom. Like, you did not start this business to have somebody up your butt every single day asking you if you did your posts, and if you did your stories, and if you did your messages, and you know, all these things. Like, you're your own boss. Like, you get to do what you want with the time that you have, and it's up to you to like get the things done. Like, I don't want to check on you. Like, and if you want to talk to me, you message me. I'm busy too. And so I think that a lot of times people get in their heads like, well, you haven't even messaged me today. Okay, well, guess what? You know how to pick up the phone and message me if there's something going on. Like, I'm here to help you no matter what. And I always tell my girls too, I always say, if you guys are not blowing my phone up with screenshots every single day of the conversations that you're having with people, asking questions, then I don't believe that you're doing the work, period. Like, if you're not sending me screenshots, you're most likely not doing the work. And I don't even care if somebody says no. I tell my girls, send me a screenshot and I will try to help you to redirect that conversation. So making sure you're messaging your leader and just being like, hey, this is so-and-so, I need help with this. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions, you guys. And even the red in me tried not to send Christy screenshots in the beginning of conversations. And she's like, girl, you lost that person 46 messages ago. I won't even read what you wrote them. Like, she's like, stop messaging them a novel. They don't need to know your story. And because I was like, oh my gosh, I lost 4 pounds in the first week. You should start these products. They're amazing. She's like, girl, nobody cares that you lost your weight. Like, stop telling them about your weight loss journey unless they ask about it. Like, they want to know what it's going to do for them. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry. So I think true, like I said, just make sure that you're asking for help, you guys, because that's the biggest thing is like your leader wants the success for you just as bad as you want it. Like, we don't want to see you guys fail. We don't want to see you guys just give up, but just know if you do give up, you're the only person that's stopping yourself from moving forward. And you guys can, like I say, do anything you set your mind to. Just show up, do the dang thing, and don't make any excuses. And when you're not getting customers, go out and send more messages because most likely you're probably not doing all the things. And like I said, again, I'm speaking from experience.
So much goodness, Shandee. So many little good like truth bombs. I appreciate it so much. I have
Yes.
loved getting to know you and accountability with you and learning from you and been inspired by you over the last few months. So thank you so much for getting on with my team tonight. If you guys all could give her some love in the chat, that would mean so much to me. But thank you guys thank you so much, Shandee, for getting on tonight. It was so
Yes.
much.
I'm sending. Oh, and my somebody was asking for my TikTok. It's just Shandee Marie Messer. So it's just my full name. I think if you just type in the beginning, I think it should pop up. I don't know how many people have my name, but I feel like I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah, Shandee. I mean,
Perfect. Thank you
yes.
so much.
Thanks, Shandee. I appreciate you so
Good night,
much.
guys.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.